What is up, my fellow mobile gamers? In today's video, we are talking about the biggest mistake I see new players make. Subscribe to the channel for more videos. Hit the thumbs up button. It is greatly appreciated to help support the channel. So we got a lot of new players in A3 still alive, and this is by far one of the biggest things I think that people don't understand. So there's two different types of attacks. You have your magic attack and you have your physical attack. Now each soul linker and each character class has one or the other. They don't do both. So what I mean by that is you don't do magic and physical attack. You either do one or the other. And the easiest way to find this out is if you click on the top left corner where it shows you your level, and then you look right here on your quick stats. You'll see combat power, your HP, and then your attack. This dictates what type of attack your class does. So I am a scholar class, so I do magic attack, magic penetration. If you are something like an assassin or an archer, you'll see that it says physical attack and physical penetration. Now, the reason this is important is because you don't want to put on the wrong type of gems. You don't want to put on the wrong type of apostle fragments. You don't want to put on the wrong type of attribute ruins for your soul linkers. Because if I was to go ahead and put stuff on my character that buffs physical attack, when I do magic attack, it's pointless. And let me tell you a quick little story. In fact, when I started playing this game, about 3 months in, I actually met someone who did not know this, and they were using physical attack boosts when their character did magic attacks. So that is a ridiculously a long amount of time that they really missed out on stuff. I mean, it adds up. This guy did it for 3 months. He didn't even know. For 3 months, could you imagine all the grinding, all the extra gold he missed out on, the extra XP he missed out on because he potentially could have been doing more damage and killing more monsters. Like, it's crazy. Stuff like this is so important. So let's go ahead and look at our soul linkers, because your soul linkers are also the same way. They either do magic attacks or physical attacks, and if you put the opposite on there, it does nothing. It's literally a waste, and that is one of the biggest traps in this game, and it lets you do it. It doesn't tell you that. It doesn't say, oh, this character can only do magic attacks, so if you put a physical attribute ruin on it or something that buffs physical attack, does nothing for it. It literally lets you do it because it's a trap. So if we go over here and we take a look, you'll go to management, and then when you click on your character, it'll show you the little icon, and you can actually even click on it and it'll let you know what type it is. So right here we have Boom, the Proud Marine, Rhinan, the Rhino guy I call him. He does magic attacks. So if we go to someone like Pobart right here for defensive soul linker, you notice he has the sword. If we click right here, physical attacks. So he does physical attacks. So the reason this is important is because you don't want to put like gear on them that does the opposite. You'll see he is a physical attacker, so I have these gloves on him that buffs his physical attack right here. So for Elian, the high priestess guy, I got magic attack gloves on him because he is a magic damage dealer. If I were to put this on Pobart, it's useless. It does nothing. So really be very cautious about that. The same thing with your attribute ruins. When you go ahead and you look, you have a character and your soul linker. For instance, let me find this one right here. For my character, I am a magical attacker, so I'm going to get that magic attack buff. And then the soul linker that I'm using also does magic attack, so soul linker, magic attack buff. You gotta be careful with these. Make sure you pay attention with these, otherwise you're missing out on a lot of stuff. Now, the other thing that I also need to talk about is elemental damage, because elemental damage works a little bit differently. In fact, everyone benefits from elemental damage. Elemental damage is probably the strongest thing in this game because it's very, very hard to defend against. Now, any character, any class can do elemental damage. It's not class specific like how magic attack and physical attack are. So your soul anchor can do elemental damage, your character can do elemental damage, and they can do different ones. They could do fire, they could do wind. Now the biggest person who benefits from this is the scholar, because if you go ahead and you take a look at the scholar's skills, a lot of these have stuff where they do elemental damage. So you'll see wind attribute additional damage 15%. So it's not only doing magic attack damage, but it's also doing wind attribute damage. If your opponent does not have wind attribute defense, that is just straight raw damage that they are taking. Whereas with magic damage, it then goes hand in hand with, does your opponent have high magic defense? Their defense is higher, if their magic defense is higher, it's going to reduce the amount of magic damage your character does. But like I said, elemental damage is very, very hard to counter. So that's why getting elemental defense on your gear rolls is very important. Anytime you get a gear roll, like a substat that has something with elemental defense, very, very strong, very, very important. And even stuff that buffs your elemental damage, like wind attribute additional damage. Look, I'm getting extra plus 24,000. This is really, really strong for scholar class. But again, even if you are something like a Templar, Assassin, Archer, you can also still benefit from elemental damage. Again, you just don't get that huge increase like the scholar does. The scholar already has natural elemental damage built into all of its skills. So that's just one thing that's very, very important to look out for. But that's pretty much it. I hope you guys and girls have a better understanding of those stats, because they're very, very important. And like I said, don't make the same mistake that guy made, and 3 months from now, you got the wrong stuff on. Stay happy, stay safe, my friends. Peace.